Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about common collector configuration of BJT. Common collector configuration. Okay, common collector configuration of BJT. So first let's draw the circuit diagram of this. Okay, so let's say we have a PNP transistor. Let's say we have a PNP transistor like this. So this terminal is known as emitter terminal, this is a collector terminal, this is a base terminal. Okay. So now the emitter and base has to be in a forward bias, collector and base has to be in a reverse bias. Now what we can do is, since we need to take common collector as a common terminal, so what does it mean? We need to take the output from the emitter. So what we can do is, we can put a load resistance here, RL, through which we can take the output. So here, instead of taking the load, placing the load resistor with the collector and take the output from there, now we will take the resistance, now we will take the output from the emitter. Okay? And now this emitter and base need to be in a forward bias. So this is N, this is P, so this has to be negative. Like this. And the collector base junction has to be in a reverse bias. So this is P, this is N, this is P. So N is already negative. So P has to be more negative than N. Like this. So in common collector, remember what we have done is, we have put one resistance here and we have taken the output from this. Okay, so we have we have put a resistor here, RL, and we have taken an output from here, from the collector terminal. But now since it's a common collector, the collector has to be grounded. So this, instead of taking the resistance, instead of taking the output from here, we have taken the output from the emitter terminal. So this is one way of drawing this circuit diagram. The another way of drawing circuit diagram is, like, we can draw the circuit also like this. We have, what we can do is, we can make emitter here, collector here, and base like this. So the again same P and P. Now the things are very simple. What we can do is, we can have like this is a emitter, this is base, and this is, let's say, collector. Okay, so base collector junction has to be in a reverse bias. So this is P, this is N, so this is N, this is P. So this has to be in a reverse bias, so make it positive like this. And since the emitter base junction has to be in a forward bias, so N is already positive, so make P more positive. Put some bigger battery here. So this is how you can draw the circuit diagram of common collector configuration. Okay, both the circuits are equally good. Okay, so this is similar to what we have drawn in the previous lectures. Okay, so this is easy to understand. Okay, so instead of this, I will draw this. Okay, so this is circuit diagram. Now we have to find out the input and output characteristics. Okay, what is the input characteristics? The input characteristics is between input current and input voltage. Okay, what is the input current here? The input current is IB here. And what is the input voltage? Input voltage is VBC here. Remember, I am always taking common terminal as like this. So instead of taking VCB, I am taking here VBC now. And here I will take VEC. Okay, so the input current is IB, input voltage is VBC, at constant output voltage VEC. So this is our input characteristics. What about the output characteristics? So the output characteristics will be between output current, output voltage, at constant input current. What is the output current? The output current is IE. So the output current is IE, output voltage is VEC at constant IB. This is how we need to draw the characteristics of common collector configuration. So let's first draw the output characteristics of common collector. Okay, so how we can draw? IE is the output current. Okay, and since it's a PNP transistor, PNP transistor, so the emitter current is always positive. However, base and collector currents are negative. So emitter current is positive, I am taking positive, and VEC, x-axis is VEC, x-axis is VEC, and this is positive. So this is also in a volt, this is also in a milliampere, but positive. So let's say 1, let's say 2, let's say 3, let's say 4, let's say 5, and so on. And let's say 2 volt, 4 volt, 6 volt, 8 volt, 10 volt, like this. Okay. Now, since I wanted to plot IE versus VEC at constant IB, so I wanted to have a relation between IE and IB. How we can have a relation? So IE is equal to IC plus IB, and what is IC? IC is equal to alpha IE plus ICBO. So I wanted to eliminate IC, so put this IC, the value of IC in equation, let's say in this equation. So IE will be alpha IE plus ICBO plus IB. So IE equal to IB divided by 1 minus alpha plus ICBO divided by 1 minus alpha. So this equation is very similar to what we have obtained in a common emitter configuration. Okay, in this also you have a 1 upon 1 minus alpha, so there will be a slope in the characteristics, and exactly the similar characteristics as you have drawn in a common emitter configuration we will be having here. The only difference is instead of IC here we have IE. So in common collector configuration the output current is IE, whereas in the common emitter it was IC. Okay. Here also the similar things. In common emitter, what we have done is we have taken VCE, here we have VEC, that's why the sign gets positive here. Okay. Now the characteristics is almost same. So you have a characteristics like this, 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 like this. So you have a characteristic similar to this. So we have a slope here. So we have a slope here like this. So we have a, okay, let's say like this, just a minute, let's say this, like this. So we have a current like this. So this is probably for IB equal to 60 microampere, this is IB equal to 40 microampere, let's say this is IB equal to 20 microampere, this is IB equal to 10 microampere, let's say. Okay. And this is the current which is I alpha ICBO divided by 1 minus alpha, similar to what we have achieved in common emitter configurations. So the output characteristics are almost similar as we have received in a common emitter configuration. Okay. Now let me draw the input characteristics. Okay. How to draw the input characteristics? Let's understand that. The input characteristics. So the input current is IB in a microampere. Input voltage is VBC at constant VEC. At constant VEC we need to plot. Okay. So what we are plotting is we are plotting IB with respect to VBC. With respect to VBC at constant VEC. So now find out one relationship between VBC and VEC. So what is VEC? So what we can do is VEC is equal to VEB VEC. This voltage is equal to VEB plus VBC plus VBC. This equation will very helpful in to draw the input characteristics of the common collector configuration, because here what we are doing is we are taking input current IB, but the voltage is VBC in the base and the collector, which is a reverse bias voltage. Okay, so instead of this, we will understand how the IB will change with respect to VEB. Okay, and we will plot like this. Okay, so basically we are plotting IB versus VEB in a different way. So from this equation, let's say, because we need to draw at constant VEC, so let's say initially the VEC is 1 volt. Let's say VEC is 1 volt. We have fixed this battery at 1 volt, let's say. So we have to find out what is the emitter to base voltage. Then only we can decide IB, because IB is going to decide by VEB, not by VBC. Definitely it's decided by VBC also, but we know the relationship between IB and VEB, so that's why we wanted to calculate IB with respect to VEB, not with respect to VBC. Okay, so let's say VEC is constant at 1 volt and let's say VBC is equal to 0 volt, because we have to draw the relationship here. So let's say VBC equal to 0. So if VBC equal to 0, what will be VEB? VEB will be 1 volt. VEB will be 1 volt. And we know from the common emitter characteristics, if VEB, that means emitter to base voltage is 1 volt, which is very sufficient to make this in a forward bias. What does it mean? There will be a large IB. And since IB units is always in a microampere, let's say it's somewhere 100 microampere. So let's say here somewhere 100 microampere. 100 microampere. Okay. What will happen when you are increasing, let's say VBC here, let's say VBC is 0.2 now. If it is 0.2, what will be VEB? VEB will be reducing, it will be 0.8. What does it mean? The current will reduce IB, because now earlier the emitter to base was 1 volt, heavy forward bias. Now emitter to base is, let's say, 0.8 volt, less forward bias, so the current will reduce. From 100 to, let's say, the current will reduce to 80. So let's say we have here 80. So the current will somewhere at 0.2, the current will be 80. Okay. Now let's say you have increased 0.4 VBC. Let's say VBC is here 0.4. Let's say you have increased VBC to 0.4. What will be VEB? VEB will be 0.6. Even less forward bias. Meaning, let's say the current is somewhere 40. 40 like this. Okay. Let's say if you have increased this 0.6, if VBC will be 0.6, VEB will be 0.4, what does it mean? It means that VEB is no more now forward bias. So almost negligible, almost zero IB you will be having. So at 0.6 you will be having almost 0. So you will be having a current curve like this. So this will be something like this. So you have like this. So this will be something like this. You will be having curve like this. So what does it mean? IB is reducing with increasing VBC. This we have already seen in the common emitter configuration, that whenever base to collector voltage increases, because of the base width modulation, this IB decreases. Here also the same phenomena is occurring. Okay. Now let's say, so this was VEC at 1 volt. Now let's say you have a VEC is 2 volt, and let's say VBC again it's like 0.2, so you will be having VEB which is equal to 1.8, meaning very heavy forward bias. So if let's say 0.2 is VBC, VEC is 2 volt, VEB will be 1.8. So if 1.8, let's say it's a 120 like this. Here let's say the IB is somewhere here, it's a 140 microampere. Now you have increased this VBC 0.4. So you have VEB is equal to 1.6, and let's say at 1.6 you have a current something 120. So 0.4 you have a 120. Okay, if you have increased this to 0.6 meaning this is 1.4. So at 1.4, let's say you have a current somewhere 110 like this. Okay, then if you have increased this to 1 volt, let's say you have a 1 volt here, so this will be 1 volt, VEB will be 1 volt, and at 1 volt, let's say the current is 80, okay, so the current is, let's say 80 here, and if you are increasing VBC to 1.5, then this will be 0.5, just at the verge of forward bias. Let's say the current is 40, so this will something linear, it will come linearly, okay, it will come like this, so it will come like this, okay, so this will be at VEC equal to 2 volt. So if you will be having VEC equal to 3 volt, the curve will be something like this. VEC equal to 4 volt, the curve will be something like VEC equal to 4 volt. This is VEC equal to 3 volt, like this. So these are the input characteristics of common collector. Okay. Now the third thing, which is input resistance. Okay. So input resistance will be Ri will be simply delta VBC divided by delta IB. This will be the input resistance. What will be the output resistance? R0. Output resistance will be output current, output voltage divided by output current. So delta VEC divided by output current is delta IE. Okay, so the input resistance will be very high because the change in the input current will be small. Okay, it's in a microampere. So the input resistance will be very high. The output resistance will be also very high. Okay. Now, what will be the current gain? The current gain is equal to output current IE divided by input current IB. So this is current gain. Okay, IE divided by IB. So the current gain is also very high. Okay, so in the next lecture we will compare all the characteristics, meaning the input resistance, the output resistance, the current gain of all these three configurations, and then we will see how when we can have a different configurations for different applications. Okay, in some applications, suppose you want the current gain should be high. Some application you want the input impedance has to be very high. Okay, so according to the applications, how and when we will consider which configurations. Okay, thank you.